Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. What a big stream we've got for you. Not only is it Arsenal against Bournemouth, it's also final day in the Championship and they're kicking off at 12:30 as well. Relegation, promotion, commotion. Yeah, anything else with shut? A wreck shut? No, not that one. Yeah, we're ready to go with this. We're ready to go with this. I'm very, very excited about it. I think so many games going on at the same time. Yeah, Championship could see pie-face Plymouth or Will Brazier's Birmingham go down. We could see, obviously, Ipswich get promoted. Take a lot, actually, for Ipswich not to get promoted. It's a promotion party, really. They just have to avoid defeat to get themselves promoted today. We're also keeping an eye on the top end of the table. That's our featured watch-along, Arsenal against Bournemouth. So lots to get involved in for you today. And very excited to have you with me as well. Kendrick or Drake, don't really... Way over my head. Way over my head. Like a cloud, really. But here we go. Absolutely massive. Final day, Championship Watchalong and Arsenal. I'm live. That'll do. Basically, that's what we're doing. Oh, did you see that? I tweeted it. I'm just looking at Twitter, actually. I tweeted out the clip that the audio from the penalty that Forest should have got against Everton. Oh, my Christ. Absolutely terrible. I mean, for God's sake, mate. What the fuck is going on there? It's absolutely shite. And it's the referee on the pitch shouting, I don't think it's a penalty again. I mean, just shut your mouth. Keep your mouth. Stick a fucking polo in your mouth and shut it. That's going to be my new saying for 2024. I'm fed up of... I think some of my sayings are getting a bit... You know, they're classics, but I need a new one. Stick a polo in your mouth and shut it. Or stick a polo in your mouth and shut the fuck up. Yeah. I was going to go with cock, but that's just disgusting. We're not going to go that. We're not going to do that. Okay, right. We're about ready to go here. Arsenal are going to start the game. I've played the game. Let's get the stats carousel rolling around for you. Weekend, bank holiday weekend. Off to Wembley tomorrow. Off to Wembley tomorrow. Taking Seb to Wembley for the first time. Might do a vlog, actually. Yeah, well, so I won't be doing Spurs against Liverpool, which I don't think even Liverpool or Spurs fans want to do that, if I'm being completely honest. So, yeah, not doing it. Off to Wembley. Can't wait. Can't wait. Well, Seb can't wait anyway. Let's go with that. That'll do. I've played the game. I've played the game. Oh, mate, I've just seen... I tell you what, I don't know whether... Does anyone else listen to the radio? Absolute rubbish advert that I keep hearing all the time. I'm not going to give them a shout out because they'd get more sign-ups sponsoring this than doing that shit on the radio. So basically, before this game starts, which is about to start very quickly, so I'm going to have to be very quick. I don't think I'm going to have time. I will tell the story, but we're about to start here, and it's final day. I've got loads of stuff to keep an eye on for you. Come on, Birmingham, says Abbas. Yeah, I'm going to try and keep my eye on as much as I can. Come on, you Hull, says you Hull. But our featured game is a Premier League game. I've missed the bloody timer. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It does matter, but I will get us ready. I'll get us ready. Don't worry about that. Shamboni. Shamboni. Shamone. Shamone. Shamoni. Shamoni, motherfucker. Joel says radio is crap. Yeah, but you know when you're like in the kitchen making yourself something to eat, you could, if you're rich enough, you might have a TV. In fact, most people have a TV now. Yates, he says, I want Birmingham to be relegated. Enjoy it, you clowns. Everybody's up and running. This is a Championship watch-along as well as an Arsenal watch-along. So we've got all angles covered here. I'm just going to quickly check what's on. We've got Arsenal, Bournemouth. I mean, the reason I'm doing Arsenal, Bournemouth, the reason I'm doing a 12:30 watch-along today is for the Championship and for the Arsenal game. But I would have done it for the Arsenal game anyway because Bournemouth are playing quite well, and you sort of want to be there if the title race is over, because we've been watching this story pan out for so long now that, you know, you can't not follow it through to the end. Welcome to everyone who's watching on TikTok. Darth Vader, you're very welcome. So that's the Birmingham game. That's the Arsenal game. Okay, we're already here. I need to tell you what the situation is in the Championship, but let me just go through the team news for you, and then I've got a great story about a radio advert that's getting right on my tits. But first of all, let's focus on the if, buts and maybes in a moment, because Arsenal are top of the league, but of course, Man City have got 2 games in hand on them, so they need to be winning. Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, Odegaard, Partey, Rice, Saka, Havertz, Trossard, arguably a very strong team for Arsenal. Bournemouth, Travers, Smith, Sabani, Senesi, Otara, Cook, Christie, Scott, Semenyo, Kluivert and Solanke. They're not a bad team, Bournemouth. I don't know why people think they're a bad team. They're not a bad team. They're not a bad team. Thanks for the follow, Adam. In the Championship, it's all over the place, really. And I mean, I sort of despair at what can go on here in the Championship. So basically, Leicester are promoted. Ipswich will get promoted unless they lose their game at home and Leeds win. That would change that around, but we're expecting Ipswich to get automatic promotion. Hull can still get into the playoffs, as can West Brom. They're playing for the last playoff spot, so it's West Brom and Hull playing for the playoffs. And then in the Championship, we've got Birmingham City and Bournemouth. Sorry, Birmingham City and Plymouth. Don't worry, Bournemouth, you've not been relegated twice. Birmingham City and Plymouth and Blackburn Rovers all separated by 2 points. Birmingham, Plymouth and Blackburn all separated by 2 points. Birmingham are at home to Norwich. Plymouth and Plymouth are at home to Hull, who are trying to get in the playoffs. And Blackburn are away to Leicester, who are going for the points. So if Birmingham City can win, they've got a good chance of staying up. But we'll keep you up to date with all of that. No goals in the Championship at the moment. Happy bank holiday, says Veghorse with a super chat. Is it sad I take myself to a restaurant and sit at a table for one? Dumped my girlfriend, but fancy a pizza. Veghorse, I just think that's being a bit of a boss. It's like going to the cinema on your own. Although don't go to the cinema on your own and do something. Like, don't go and have a Tommy Tank or anything. But, you know, going to the cinema on your own is quite empowering. Going to a look, people might look at you that you're on your own, but as long as you're comfortable, sod them, you know? Ipswich for back-to-back promotion, says Sean. Yeah, I think that will definitely happen. Happy Saturday to all who celebrate today. Easter, says Mikkel. Do some people do Easter today? Don't know about that. Can't wait to see Ipswich demolish United next season, says Nelly. And what do you think of the Birmingham City ownership, says Abbas. I wanted them to keep Rooney. Thanks for the follow, the edit god. I did want them to keep Rooney, but obviously they didn't, so there we go. Right, I think we might have a championship table to give you here. I'm just having a quick look. God, you're really spoilt if that's the case. Rice is on the attack for Arsenal. Saka in the box. Of course, Arsenal need to win. We can talk about the championship all day, but Arsenal need to win. Yeah, we've got a live table coming in for you. I'm just going to have to get rid of some stuff here because we don't need that. We don't need that. So that's how the championship is looking at the moment. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, it's not working. Technical problems. We'll go back to that. Mark says Newcastle are going to finish above Man United. Yeah, Mark, it's a Championship final day watch-along and it's Arsenal versus Bournemouth. I mean, I don't know how stupid you are, but none of that involves Newcastle or Manchester United. So you're talking to yourself, my friend, because I couldn't give a shit about talking about Man United or Newcastle on a Championship final day where teams are going to get relegated and promoted and Arsenal are still in a title race. There might be, if you search on YouTube, there might be somebody talking about Newcastle finishing above Man United. You know, there might be something there. But for me, not interested. If you ever had Deitch on your podcast, do you think things would go smoothly, says Flores Official? It depends whether he can have a laugh. Because I couldn't have Graham Souness on a podcast without going, I've played the game, Graham, every minute. He'd go, I just want to speak about Pogba. I've played the game. Would you stop saying I've played the game? You started it. I've played the game. And I do it to Deitch as well. Deitchy, what's your thoughts on wood? Do you like wood? Do you like picking wood? Do you like playing wood on a Sunday morning? Football wise. Did you go? Oh, Sale, you're blocked. Sorry. I do the jokes, not you. That's just filth. You're gone. I've got something on my teeth. It's lentil. What is in there? Oh, that's disgusting. That's why I got myself a hot peppermint tea to wash it down. Thanks, Owen. You said it in a nice way. Saley got himself blocked. Or she. Hi, Mark. What's with the news with you and Man City? Saw it on X, says Jeffrey. Right. This Man City stuff is a load of... Well, look, I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. It'll be out on Tuesday. But... So now is not the time to talk about it because there's a lot going on today. But we are living... look, I talk about football, but we are living in a society where people can just make up crap and people believe it. It's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. Our relations fought wars for peace and everything like that. And we're now living in a technological war where people can just make lies up. They can say what they bloody well like. It's a scary, scary time. And some of these people saying this stuff don't even exist. They're bots. Like, I don't trust a lot of Twitter accounts. You know, if it's like Pogba's left boot or something like that, I just don't agree. I don't trust them. It could be anybody behind it. Could be a government, could be a team, could be a player's agent. I just don't believe it. It's 22 degrees today, says Ladios. Lucky you. It is quite warm in the UK. Goal! Oh, good block from Trossard. Jamie Grant's back again with an absolute perler. Increased people. Best United player, says Ben. No, don't want to talk about United. Too much exciting other football stuff going on here without bringing the mood down. Daniel's hungover. I only had a glass of wine. Well, I didn't. I had more than that. I don't know about that. Apparently we froze a moment there. Don't know why. No, I've not even had any drop frames on my streaming thing. It's weird. Very weird. Very, very weird. Very, very weird. Did it go down on TikTok for anyone? Raphael says, who do you think is going to get relegated? The three that went up. LF says, who's going to get promoted? Well, look, really exciting next couple of hours. Arsenal need to win this to stay in the title race, of course. There's been a bit of a collision here between a Bournemouth player and Saka. So we've got a stoppage there. So we can talk about the Championship. Ipswich will get promoted if they avoid defeat at home. If they get defeated and Leeds win, they'll be in the playoffs. Hull and West Brom are fighting for the final playoff position. And then Blackburn, Plymouth and Birmingham, one of them are going down. And it's basically Blackburn away to Leicester, who have already been promoted but want the points record. Plymouth are at home to Hull, who want to get in the playoffs. And then Norwich, I think, are already in the playoffs. They're playing Birmingham. Not a lot to play for Norwich, really. If Birmingham City lose, they're down, and Plymouth and Blackburn will be safe. Someone said, can you keep talking about going down? It's getting me excited. Filth! Filth! Barry says, how does this Arsenal team improve and really battle City next year? Depth. Depth, mate. It's as simple as that. Surely that's a red. I wasn't. Let's have a look. I didn't see it, mate. That should be a red card. I mean, Saka's got blood. And that's not me being urban. He's got blood on his shin. That doesn't mean he's got a mate on his shin. Or a brother. He actually has got a bloodied shin. I haven't seen it. Clear red. A lot of people saying red in the chat. Saka can't believe it. I will watch it. Don't worry about that. I'm just seeing if they're going to replay it. Saka's not happy. Referee's not doing anything about it, I don't think. Drop ball. Right, let's see if I can see this. Here we go. It's a drop ball. It's not even a yellow card. Let's have a look. Oh my God. How is that not a red? Did he get booked? He could have killed him, says Miss Bunny. Nothing. Not even a yellow. I mean, that is just incredible. Like, his foot's high. He stamps down on his shin. I don't think it's intentional in any way, but David Coote, David Kerr, something else. Ahmad says it was a good call by the referee. Hey, look, we'll do a poll on that on YouTube. Should it have been a red? Yes or no, let me know. Any goals in the Championship, Mark? I'll keep you updated with that, don't you worry. Slimix, thanks for the follow. It was very high, says Oren. There's a lot of sexual innuendos going on at the moment. Depth, going down. Apparently Saka dived, says Sammy. Well, a lot of people saying penalty. 3 yo-yo Championship teams you'd pick to be in the Prem, says James. Rest in peace, Daniel. Nice little sign there and applause from Arsenal fans. 3 yo-yo Championship teams. No goals in the Championship, and we've been playing for a quarter of an hour in any of the games. They're all kicking off at the same time, remember. Arsenal are playing quite well in this game. Norwich are a yo-yo team. I quite like them when they're in the Premier League. Who else is a yo-yo team? I don't really like any of the yo-yo teams, to be honest. I'd like to see some different teams get promoted, but the parachute payments make it so different. Lestin, thanks for the follow. With the way things are going, Chelsea might finish the season higher than Man United. As a Man United fan, conference will be embarrassing, says Jeffrey. I don't know what I think about the Conference League. It's probably the same for anybody. I find it embarrassing being in the Conference League if you're a Man United, yes. But would you rather be in that than nothing? More games, try things out, a little bit of revenue. I don't know whether it's I don't know whether it helps or it's a hindrance, to be honest. Ben says, please say hi, Ben. Me and my dad are big fans and are watching. Hello, Ben, on TikTok. If they still wore old school shin pads, it wouldn't have been as painful, I think, says Rob. Doesn't justify studding someone on the shins, though, does it? But I do agree, Rob. I remember if you used to forget your shin pads at school, we used to get... I don't know whether anyone ever did this. It used to kill where it connected with your foot. But if you forgot your shin pads for PE or a football match, we used to go in the stationery cupboard at school and get the thickest like Jota books you could, and then it wasn't an annual about Diego Jota. It was like, you know, you probably don't even get books in school anymore, do you? And you put them down your socks and curl it around your shin. Book up your sock, yeah, Connor, yeah. What do you think of Pompey's season in the future? I'd like, you know, Portsmouth are an old school club like Sheffield Wednesday to me. I'd like to see them doing well. I would, yeah. Still nothing happening in the Championship. Still no goals. Still no goals. Big up. Let's get that going around, yeah. Will is, I do the podcast with Will. He's a Birmingham City fan. He is at the game right now. His arse will be going like a bunny's nose. I mean, it's a big thing, isn't it? For someone like Birmingham City, who've got a lot of money behind their new project. If they go up, if they stay up, big season for them next season. If they go down, you lose a season. Good shot by Saliba. And then over the bar by Trossard. Will Preston ever make it to the Premier League, says Farrow? I don't think anything's impossible in the Championship when you look at what Ipswich have done. It's not impossible to see that may be happening, no. It's hard. It's definitely hard. Can you update the YouTube, China? Oh, sorry, yeah, it is. I did mean to do that ages ago. There you go. We're second for second now. How are you, Mark? Says Zane. I'm all right. Dream podcast guest, says Jamie Grant. Oh, God. Dream podcast guest. I think it would have to be... I think it would have... You've got to go for a hero, even though they say don't meet your heroes. I think you've got to go for somebody like Beckham for me. Gary Neville's not a dream podcast guest. I just think I think he'd be a good guest, but he doesn't dare do it. But he wouldn't be a dream. God no. Not disrespecting him, but like there's about 30 footballers I'd rather interview than him. I just think it'd be good content. Same with Simon Jordan. I wouldn't put him in the top 100. I just think it'd be good content. All I want to do is make good content, but if people don't want to do it, that's fine. Beckham's too bland. I know, but I get to meet him. That's the point. We've got a Southampton goal in the Championship. They're beating Leeds. I mean, Leeds would need to beat Southampton at home and Ipswich would need to lose. Well, I think Ipswich are going to get promoted and it was never looking good for anything like that anyway. Shane says, what do you mean by a final day watch along? It's the final day of the Championship, mate, and Arsenal are playing Bournemouth. Everybody in the Championship, the league below the Premier League, is playing their final fixture. So promotion, relegation is going to be decided in this next 2 hours. Tanishk says, it's funny how short our VAR checks are, and then there's cities, says Tanishk. Mate, that's a red card. I'm sorry. To give a drop ball makes it even worse. Look, if he gives a yellow card and a free kick to Arsenal, it's better than what he actually gave. A drop ball and nothing. I mean, it's definitely a foul. It's definitely reckless, and it's definitely out of control. I mean, you've got the ingredients. Look, if someone walks into me now and said, there's some bread, there's some eggs, and there's some beans, I've got the ingredients for beans and egg on toast. That referee there and VAR have got the ingredients for a red card. Reckless, out of control, endangering the opposition, and clearly a foul. What do? Drop ball and nothing. They don't even get, they're completely wrong anyway, but they don't even get on the journey to being right. They're just completely wrong. And that's what pisses me off. You've got 4 or 5 people looking at that, all making the minority dickhead decision of being completely wrong. Would you take a coach like Company at United, says Dylan? No, because he played for Man City. Isak or Kane at the moment? Kane. I'm all right, Cowell. Hope you're doing well. Seb says it's not final day. It's the final day in the Championship. Stop being so elitist. And I'm going to Wembley tomorrow. That's your elitist footballer. I'm going to Wembley tomorrow to watch my local team, Solihull Moors, play in the National League playoff final to get promoted into the league. Biggest game in their history. Goal! Over the bar. Partey. Arsenal have had chances. Arsenal have had chances. Start, bench, sell. Mozzarella, Brie or Edam. I'm selling Edam. I'm benching Brie and I'm starting mozzarella, says Matt. Matt, that's what I'm doing. Remember, if we win the FA Cup, it's a pathway to the Europa League. Make the FA Cup so much more important. Yeah, but we're playing Man City, Dan. Playing Man City, Dan. It's 1-1 between Leeds and Southampton. The only 2 goals in the Championship at the moment, and it's Leeds and Southampton. Remember, if Leeds win and Ipswich lose, Leeds get promoted as second place. But Ipswich are at home against Huddersfield, who are just a relegated side. They can't stay up, Huddersfield. It's impossible. Even if everything went their way, their goal difference is shite. So it should be a formality for Ipswich. It's famous last words. Norwich or Birmingham? Look, Birmingham, I've got friends who support Birmingham. I know people who play for Birmingham. It's not too far away from me, Birmingham. So, look, as much as I like Norwich, I've never been. So, I'm going to go Birmingham. Ash, thanks for the follow. Darth Vader says, do you play Sabutio, Mark? Pre-order the book. There's a whole 3 pages on Sabutio. There's your Sabutio fan. Halfway through recording the audio for the book at the moment as well. Remember, it's out this summer. Check it out. Forest or Notts County, says Kay. I mean, I do... Here we go. Havertz. No way is that a penalty. I do like Notts County. Oldest club in the world. Oldest professional club in the world, I think. Some Sheffield club tries to claim it, but you know what I mean. I love the kit. It's why Juventus wear black and white. So I really do like Notts County. But I think I would probably... I don't know. I mean, it's weird because I grew up in Nottingham, but never felt that rivalry. But then again, I grew up in Nottinghamshire. Where I lived was actually closer to the Leicester ground. So... Crystal Palace are not the oldest, the dog. Where do you rank Saliba in top Premier League centre-backs this season? As Arsenal fan, I might be biased for putting him first, but can't think who else. Probably right. This season, I think you're probably right, Bart. What stadium do you think is the best looking, says it's Louis. Well, apart from Old Trafford, which is always going to be my favourite, I really love Goodison Park. I've always loved Goodison Park. I've always had a... I know it's old and everything, but, you know, it's one of the few grounds that's the same from when I was growing up as a kid. So I just love the older grounds, yeah. Awoken says, surely Van Dijk's first. No, we're talking about this season. I think Saliba's been better this season, performance-wise. You're right that Van Dijk's the better defender, but across his CV. But this season, I think Saliba's been good. Van Dijk's been good this season, but consistently across the season, they fell away a bit. What do you think of the Stadium of Light, Mark? Says Louis. I'd switch the light off. I don't have a lot of thoughts about North East football. Middlesbrough and Sunderland I just find a bit meh. Very passionate place of the world, but I've never been there, so I just don't have any association with it. I've never been to the northeast. The furthest north I've been is Yorkshire. So I can't talk about something like that. Sheffield FC is the oldest GMC. I've heard that before. Here's Partey into the box. Good shot, good save. I'll be a little bit worried if I was Arsenal here. 26 minutes, 0-0. Reminds me a little bit of the Villa game where Arsenal were the better team in the first half, didn't score, and then became a little bit disillusioned. They've just got to keep their cool here. Craven Cottage is a great stadium, says Alex. I do like Craven Cottage, yeah. We've got a goal for Stoke in the Championship. It's against Bristol City. I don't really know. They're both sort of mid-table, really. Stoke, lower half of mid-table, and Bristol City, higher half. Doesn't really do anything for either club there. But we have got a goal. Rotherham, Cardiff. Rotherham are bottom of the league, already relegated. Cardiff were sort of mid-table as well. So, again, a couple of goals there for the mid-table and already relegated. But still 0-0 between Birmingham and Norwich. Massive game there. Norwich have had 72% possession. Yeah. Plymouth, home to Hull. Very 50-50 there. Very 50-50 there. Dan says, it's the only time I'm supporting Huddersfield. Thanks everyone who's watching on TikTok. Got a goal coming in for Middlesbrough, apparently, as well. Yeah, they're 1-0 up against Watford again. Middlesbrough 8th, can't get into the playoffs. Watford 57 points mid-table. So again, another mid-table clash on thebeach.com. Arsenal got a chance to whip a cross in here. Ipswich have scored as well. Ipswich only need to draw. They're 1-0 up. At home to Huddersfield, it's Burns, son of George, son of Mr. Burns. Certainly is son of Mr. Burns. Unless mum got married or he took his mum's name, actually. But you don't know in the modern day. His dad might not be Mr. Burns. Anyway, Ipswich are leading. We expect them to get promoted, of course. Don't underestimate Bournemouth. That's from an Arsenal fan, says it's Louis. Just Jack says, get yourself to a Darlington match, Mark. You'll never complain about the Premier League again. And do Arsenal need to win every game to win the title, says Dominic. Even if they win every game, it won't be enough. If Man City win every game, they'll win the league. Hypothetically, Unai Emery to Chelsea, thoughts, says Sohan. Why are people talking about Chelsea managers? I've seen Brendan Rodgers, I've seen Conte, I've seen Almerim, and I've seen Emery linked with Chelsea in the last 3 days. And yet Chelsea played really well in their last 2 games and took 4 points. I don't see why we're talking about Chelsea's manager, because surely if you were going to get rid of Pochettino, that decision should have been made before, not now. Please do subscribe if you're on YouTube. Give us a follow on TikTok. Jay says, I'm suing you. Good. Thank you very much. Look forward to that. See you in court. Hi, Mark. I just started Invisalign 2 days ago and my teeth and mouth are hurting bad. How long will this last? Any advice for the pain, says Rose. I quite liked the pain when I did it. But it's just your teeth moving. It will hurt for a bit, but then I can't remember how long. But the first yeah, it's just the first few days really, and then they'll change them again. Commentator just said Havertz is a Rolls Royce. Yeah, commentator needs to get a bloody life. Commentator goes home and has beans on toast and says it's Michelin star food. Commentator goes home and wife gives him a hand job whilst watching the news and says, best sex I've ever had. commentator goes to Stoke and says it's the English Riviera. Commentator's a prat, really, if he said that. I am purposely ignoring your comments, so after this morning, I've taken advice from people. Super chats won't necessarily get read if they're thick and stupid, so just to advise you, I've been very open in the past about reading all super chats, but we've started to get invaded by trolls on the United Stand and on here, so if it doesn't add anything to the show and it's just clearly nonsense, I just won't read it anymore. Not on my decision. I've been advised to do it. Bournemouth growing into the games is just Jack. See, that sort of thing's very good. Play some guitar, says Tom. No. Dub says, do you like Carrick as a manager? I like Carrick as a player. But he's not a player anymore. Look, I'm very pleased that Carrick is. I think he's got the potential to be a good coach. It's very difficult as an English coach to get a job in the Premier League and stay in there. I think Middlesbrough is the right place for him to grow. Charlie Lawrence says, should Chelsea sack Poch? I don't think so. It reminds me a lot of United. I don't think so. And Eddie Howe. It's like I think Howe, Ten Hag and Poch have got enough reason to say they deserve another season. With all the upheaval, injuries, and the way that the club's been run above them. So I would give Poch another season, yeah. Are you going to do City Wolves later, says Ali? Absolutely not. Life is too... Keep going with the commentator analogy, says it's Louis. So apparently the commentator said that Kai Havertz is a Rolls Royce. So we were just trying to say... What other things does the commentator hype up beyond their actual level? Kai, commentator watches Lord of the Rings TV series on Amazon and says it's the best TV series ever. Ooh, that's controversial. It was. Look, I'm a fan of Lord of the Rings, but I can't believe they're doing a season 2 and replacing most of the cast. It's absolute shite. I just put it in the bin now. Umsy says, have you suffered from anxiety and muscle twitches? Nope. Current Rashford or Purple Patch Almiron? Well, Almiron, when he was playing well, was better than current Rashford, Alex. I mean, you don't need to go... You didn't even need to go that niche. Let's have a look in the Championship. We've got a goal coming in for QPR. They're playing Coventry. Again, mid-table football, really. Coventry 9th, QPR 17th. So, doesn't really make any difference there. Still no goals in West Brom Preston, Plymouth Hull, Birmingham Norwich, and Blackburn Leicester. They're the games that really revolve around the playoff position, final playoff position, and relegation. Ipswich, of course, winning means they will get the second spot no matter what Leeds do. But Saka didn't just score. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Here's Saka. Yeah, Arsenal just running out of steam a little bit. They just need to refocus here. Hot take, City have better history than United, Mark, says Lewis. See, Lewis, that's an example of, if you do a super chat, you shouldn't get read out. Because that's just, we're just going to leave that comment. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, Lewis, if you're saying that City have got a better history than Manchester United as a hot take, my hot take is your dad should have pulled out. Not very nice, is it? But, you know, it's about as nonsensical as what you've just said. Opinions on John Barnes, says Jamie. Very good footballer, just played for Liverpool. Don't worry, Lewis is on the wind-up. As am I. Predictions for playoffs, Oxford versus Peterborough. I wouldn't have a bloody clue, hens. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Solihull Moors have been doing really good. Bromley finished above them in the league. I don't know what's happening tomorrow. Arsenal on the attack. It's on the telly as well tomorrow if you want to watch it. Oh, how have they not scored from there? Ben White with the cutback was offside anyway. Southampton have scored again. They are currently in 4th place. This Leeds-Southampton game is probably... They're 2-1 up at Ellen Road, Southampton. I think that Leeds-Southampton is probably going to be the playoff final. 3rd and 4th. Probably going to be the playoff final. If Birmingham and Plymouth... Are Blackburn winning? No. How are Blackburn above Sheffield Wednesday? What's going on with this league table? I don't know. I'm confused here. Sheffield Wednesday are winning. Oh, no. They've got it right now. Sheffield Wednesday could go down, couldn't they? Yeah. As well. We need to include them in it. But they're winning against Sunderland. But it doesn't... If Birmingham draw, they're down. Birmingham have got to win to make it interesting. Oxford gaming tonight on Sky, 7:45, says Hens. I worry for Leeds in the playoffs. They've just lost all momentum, says CJ McNally. Commentator says McTominay is the Scottish Roy Keane, says Dean. Happy Star Wars Day, Mark. May the 4th be with you. What's your favourite Star Wars movie, says Jay. Empire Strikes Back. I think with the playoffs, it's always difficult, isn't it? Because you've got... You're right, there is a momentum going into the playoffs no matter what league you're in. If you time it right and you finish the season well and you take it into the playoffs, you've got a great chance of getting promoted on a team that maybe has played really well for 7 months and then falls away at the end. Lewis, I'm not reading you anymore. I warned you. You know what I said about your dad pulling out? You can climb back up your mum's chuff in a minute because you're talking absolute shit. You need to go back to birth, mate, and reset. Hi, Kanchan. Hope you're doing well. Everyone on TikTok, welcome. Lee Chapman was better than Hoyland. Fair play for shouting out Lee Chapman. A lot of people in the chat won't know who it is. In fact, this is for people who chuff monsters won't be able to do this. I'm afraid you won't. It's very ageist in an old way. So I've got my encyclopedia of UK football sticker collections from 1986 to 1993. I'm going to open up on a random page and start naming players. You have to tell me what team it is. Oh, I just opened up on Man United. You'll get that. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. Okay. So, we've got Trevor Morley, Mike Small, Kevin Keane, Stuart Slater, George Paris, Mitchell Thomas, Tim Breaker, Colin Foster, Jay Smithy on TikTok got it. No one on... Oh, now they are now getting it on the YouTube league. Maybe there was a bit of a delay. Big shout out if you got West Ham. Well done. Well done if you got West Ham. It's still 0-0 after 40 minutes between Arsenal and Bournemouth. Arsenal, of course, this is a game most people would expect them to win. Cardiff have equalised against... It's a goal for Plymouth! Pieface is having a laugh. Plymouth lead 1-0 against Hull. Hull trying to get in the playoffs. Plymouth trying to stay alive. And a penalty to Arsenal as well. It's all going off. Pieface is celebrating as Plymouth have scored to go 1-0 up. And Havertz has got a penalty for Arsenal here. It's all going on. That's why we love football. In the Championship final day, we get a big goal at Plymouth. Will's crying. And... ooh, does he dive a bit there? That's a dive. That's a dive. That is a dive. He leaves his foot in, doesn't he? That'll get overturned, I think. Watch it. Yeah, he leaves the foot. That'll get overturned, that. Yeah. Yeah. He's left his foot there for the penalty. Look, VAR might give it. And Arsenal fans, look, I've done this plenty of time. You leave your foot. He's not naturally... he's just left his foot and dragged it. He drags the foot for the contact. So, you know, that's an old school trick. I ain't got a problem with Havertz doing that at all. But they probably will overrule it because he's played the game there. He's played the game. It shouldn't be a penalty in relation to some of the penalties we've not seen over the weeks. But you just don't know. They might say it's not clear and obvious, actually. They'll probably say it's not clear and obvious. I reckon it might get given. They'll say it's not clear and obvious. Now they're looking at offside. They're going to give it. They're going to give this. He's played the game there. I mean, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. That's not a penalty. He's dragged his foot. I don't know what to say anymore. Look, I haven't got a problem with Arsenal getting a penalty. I do want them to win. I haven't got a problem with Havertz doing that. I've done it plenty of times. But he's dragged his foot deliberately to get the contact. It's not a penalty. And anybody who has played the game knows what he's done there. I can see why the referee on the pitch has given it. But VAR not turning it around... I don't understand the point in VAR anymore. That's my problem with it. Saka scores the penalty. 1-0 to Arsenal. Big goal for them. But look, I think going back to the conversation about the penalty, no problem with Arsenal getting the penalty. No problem with Havertz doing that. But if you've played the game, you know what he's done. Because we've all done it. You see the keeper. The keeper doesn't get the ball. You leave your foot there. You simulate the contact. You go down. It's simulation. And we've all done it. But unfortunately, the referee gives a penalty. I would rather we didn't have VAR because I don't really get what the point of VAR is anymore. Should have been a red card for the Saka thing. And on the penalty, they should see what we see, which is Havertz has simulated that. If we're trying to cut out simulation, that's not a penalty. But what do they do? Oh, let's back the referee on the pitch. It's just very, very frustrating because we don't need VAR. That's my point. We may as well just have referees giving that decision and we play on. And then we moan as fans whether it should have been or not. Because I would say, without VAR, I can see why the referee's given it. But with VAR, they should be overturning it. It's as simple as that. Hi, Mark. For people who don't understand why you say Ten Hag in, using a girlfriend as an analogy, she might not be the one to marry, but she provides happy times and someone stable to have a relationship with. Seamus. Well, I disagree with that, Seamus. I mean, because I was in a relationship like that and I got out of it. Just because they're a good company, if they're not the one you're in love with, then you should get rid of them. Definitely. Keep up the good work, says Vicky. Thanks, Vicky. Hope you're doing well. Refs yet again. How's that a penalty, but a kick to the chest isn't, says Xander. Yeah. If City get that penalty, you're screaming, says Luke. I just said it's not a penalty. That's a penalty, but stood to the chest not. What a joke, says Snafer. Come back to Grantham. I've not been to Grantham in years, mate. You getting on it this weekend, Mark, because of the bank holiday, says Alistair. Well, I'm off to Wembley tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. And then bank holiday Monday, yeah. I mean, hopefully. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. But, yeah, it's nice to have a... And Man United play bank holiday night, so it's like having a 3-game weekend, isn't it? 65% of you said it should have been a red card for the tackle on Saka, or the foul on Saka. Let's see. I mean, I can only do this on YouTube. I can't do it on TikTok. Apologies. Was it a penalty? Yes or no? We're a democracy here. So, you know, it's not what I think. It's what you think as well. Yes or no? Hi, Mark. Got a question to ask. Did you ever collect football cards as a kid? Used to love collecting those, says Sharpie. I did the Pro Set ones. Yeah. I often wonder why, but I suppose it's a kid thing, isn't it? I don't really understand what the point was. It's going to rain all day on Monday, says Paula. Oh, God. Look, the great thing about pubs is it doesn't rain in the pub. Oh, my God. Sunday is horrible. Oh, God. Monday's horrible. Horrible day on Monday. What? You know what? I don't really know what's going on with the UK this year. Who remembers COVID? Remember COVID started on March the 20-something. We all went into lockdown, and for 6 weeks, it was baking hot in late March and April. We're now heading towards mid-May, and we've barely had a sunny day in the UK. Like, it's rain, 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 rain. It's unbelievable. The next 14 days is just rain. Amazing. Remember that Matt Letizia tweet where he tried to insinuate, well, I don't know what. It was almost as if he was trying to say that the government turned the hot weather on. Oh, God, it must be sad to have those thoughts, really. I feel for people like that. I want football to go back to the way it was before VAR. It's ruined the game, says 89. Well, look, it's 1-0 to Arsenal at half-time. That's the main thing. They've got the goal. In the Championship, as things stand, Ipswich will be promoted in second place because they're winning. Leeds are losing anyway, so they need to win to catch Ipswich, and they need Ipswich to lose, so it's completely the opposite there. Birmingham and Norwich are 0-0. Birmingham need to win to have any chance of staying up. Norwich are already in the playoffs. Who else? Leicester and Blackburn are 0-0. Blackburn could still go down if Birmingham win. And Plymouth are 1-0 up against Hull. Hull need to win to get into the playoffs. Plymouth need to win to stay up. So lots going on there at the moment. West Brom 0-0 with Preston, but it wouldn't matter at the moment because West Brom are already in the playoff positions. So yeah, all to play for in the Championship at the moment. No penalties, 66% of you on YouTube at the moment. Paul Allen says on TikTok, contact without the penalty, contact without the ball, definitely a penalty. Can't see what you're crying about. Paul, I'm not emotionally engaged enough to be outraged because I want Arsenal to win, because I want Arsenal to win the league. What I will say, completely calm with no emotion, is if you're going to use VAR properly, that shouldn't be a penalty. Because I understand why the referee on the pitch gives it. Maybe he hasn't seen it. But when you watch that back on video, I watched it, in live time, I thought it was a penalty. I did. I did. But look, I haven't got the angle the referee's got. We've got a camera from halfway line and we're on the wrong side of the tackle. So for me, I thought it was a penalty. But when I watch it back on VAR, Havertz stops running to drag his back leg You don't run by dragging your legs along the grass, is what I'm trying to say. He simulates contact on the goalkeeper. It's not a natural stride. His first leg goes past the goalkeeper, and then his last leg, he drags it across the ground until it hits the keeper, and then he goes over. That's not a natural way of running. It's a way, and I've done it, where you make sure the contact happens. Now, VAR, if these are football people, should know what Havertz has done and said to the referee, I'd go and have a look at it on the monitor. That's all I'd ask. Go and have a look at it on the monitor because we think it might be simulation. They don't even send him to the monitor. They just go, yeah, it's a penalty. And that's the point. That's the point I'm making. It's like it's very clear that it was a simulated contact from Havertz. And if we're trying to cut out diving, then that's simulation. But flip side of the coin, Bournemouth are very lucky not to be down to 10 men because that was definitely a red card and the referee and VAR give a drop ball and no yellow card. So it sort of equaled itself out because I don't think it's a penalty for Arsenal if VAR does its job. And I think it's a red card for Bournemouth half an hour before that if it does its job. So look, Bournemouth are the victim, Arsenal are the victim, football fans are the victim, VAR is the enemy of football. That's the story. It's not Arsenal-Bournemouth. It's not having a go at Arsenal. It's not having a go at Bournemouth. VAR is ruining the game, and it's been ruining the game all season. And until fans unite behind one common cause and stop making it about tribalism, it will continue to fuck games up. And next week, it might be Arsenal at Old Trafford who are on the end of a bad decision, and then they'll go, oh my God, it's a joke. And this is why VAR and the PGMOL keep surviving, because with every bad decision, the people who benefit it don't say anything. They just go, oh, yeah, it's not a foul. And then next week it happens to them and people go, yeah, fuck you. Last week you were fine. You know, what about Arsenal's pushing the back by Gabriel? That would be another point, maybe another 2 points. People only moan about it when it happens to them. What I've been trying to say on the podcast and on here is that everybody should be calling these out. Arsenal fans should be going, we got away with one there. We're winning 1-0, never a penalty. But they don't. They justify it. They'll go, no, it was a penalty, Mark. And you, so basically you're backing VAR and you're backing the PGMOL, who fucked you over loads of times over the last 2 years. And that's the problem. Take your penalty, take your goal. I want you to win. I want you to win the league. But you can take your goal and your penalty and still say that never should have been a penalty. What about Man United against Bournemouth a couple of weeks ago? We got a penalty. I'll take it. Never should have been a penalty. Was never a bloody handball. We never should have got a handball against Bournemouth. Never in a million years was that a penalty. I said it at the time on the United stand, and I said, look, I'll take the goal. I'll take the goal, brother, and sister, and mother, and father, and friends. I will take that goal against Bournemouth because we bloody needed it, but it was never a penalty. Never in a million years. If there's contact, it's a penalty, says Guna. You need to go and understand the rules, mate. Look, I respect that. There's intelligent people and there are stupid people. There are people that understand football and there are people who think they understand football. I can only explain it to you like the majority understand it. That you don't run by dragging your foot across the floor until you feel contact. That's not how people run. Havertz has played the game. Look, I speak from experience. I used to get loads of free kicks like that. So easy to con a referee, but you shouldn't be conning a video replay system. 58% say no penalty, 42% say yes. And I think a lot of people will be convinced by the contact, to be honest. So when it's City, why do you have a go at City, says Hammer? Because I don't like City. Why do people struggle with this? I don't like City. That's Football was created as a fan content channel with no subscribers and no viewers. Where it is now is no different to where it was when it was nothing. I don't like City. I don't like the story of City. I don't like the domination of City. And I don't like the fact that they are a juggernaut compared to everybody else. I don't need to be pro-City. I don't like them. I'm not fake. There are plenty of content creators out there who are fake. I'm not faking it. I don't like City. So I want Arsenal to win the league, not City. Who would you have as England manager, says Vicky? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, look, I would take Mourinho, really. Yeah, I mean, they've just shown it there. He just leaves his leg. The Bournemouth manager's even doing it. Anyway, we've said that. Someone says the truth, not a penalty in the mud, says Red. And Arsenal fan, not a penalty. Saka did it to Neuer, says it's Louis. And it's funny how Arsenal have had every decision past 2 weeks. PGMOL forcing a title race, says Henry. Look, the biggest decision for me in this Premier League race that screwed Arsenal was the push in the back at St James's Park before Christmas on Gabriel that was clearly a foul and has been given as a foul ever since. But, Arsenal have had their fair share of bad decisions, let's not forget. This is a VAR thing. Patience on TikTok, thanks for the follow. Mother Nature is angry with PGMOL, says Rub. If City got that penalty, it'd be crime right now. It's not a disgrace because it's Arsenal, right? This is great. Sometimes I feel I spend 5 minutes saying something and then I read a chat and I think, did I imagine it? I've just spent the last 5 minutes saying, I don't think it's a penalty, mate. But I'm not going to sing and shout and scream about it because you want me to be pro-City. I want Arsenal to win the league. I don't think it's a penalty, but I'll take it. Love it, Mark. City, always in your head, says Lewis. Oh, Lewis, right. There's going to be a massive cheer in the chat. Lewis is gone for good until he starts up with another troll. Thanks very much, Alistair. Really appreciate it. Remember, it's final day in the Championship. As things stand, my co-host on the podcast, Goldbridge Saves Football, Will, is going to be a very, very miserable on Tuesday because Birmingham City are going down. They currently have 48 points and every result is against them, even if they win. Even if they win, they go to 50. But because Plymouth are winning and Blackburn are drawing, it will not be enough. They will be going down. So Birmingham City, a win isn't even enough for them at the moment. A lot can happen in 45 minutes, of course. Sheffield Wednesday have got a worse goal difference if it turned around there. And Birmingham City have got to win first. And then maybe Sheffield Wednesday or Plymouth or Blackburn's result can change. In relation to the playoffs, it's looking like West Brom are winning against Preston. So they're looking like they're going to do it. Hull needed to beat Plymouth and they're losing anyway. And of course, Ipswich looking like they're going to get that promotion place because Leeds are losing and they're winning. And they only need to win or get a draw to get promoted. Ipswich are winning, of course, 1-0 against bottom side Huddersfield at Portman Road. Mark, thanks for helping me through some dark times, says Gabby. Please come to Texas on your book tour. Would love to take you out for a pint. Love from Houston. Sounds lovely, Gabby. Lost, who is a member of the channel, Lost, thank you very much for that, says, Arsenal fan here. In my opinion, it was never a penalty. These other Arsenal fans need to realise we nicked a goal and shut up. Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Paul says, Moors, watch along tomorrow, Mark. Up the Moors. I will be watching along, but I won't be doing a watch along because I'll be at Wembley, taking Seb to Wembley. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Nathan's ready for the Birmingham City relegation party. Let's close that poll down now. So 45 minutes to go. I mean, look, Arsenal were the better team in that half. I don't remember a Bournemouth shot, actually. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, they haven't. They literally haven't. Look, 61% possession for Arsenal, 16 shots to 1, 5 on target to none, 4 corners to none. It has been a domination from Arsenal, and nobody could say they don't deserve to be leading. It is what it is. It's a good result for Arsenal at the moment. They just need to win. Footy is magic. There's your reply. Hope you're doing well on TikTok. Thank you very much, pal. Nice to have you with us. If you're on YouTube, by the way, please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We are on our way to 149,000. So get involved with That's Football. Next few watch-alongs. Well, I'm on the United stand on Monday night for Crystal Palace, where I think we're going to lose. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, we're back on here. It's the Champions League, isn't it? Champions League second legs, both evenly poised. Tuesday night is PSG Dortmund. Wednesday night is Real Madrid Bayern. I tell you what, I've got that buzz about non-Man United football at the moment. I love this time of year, especially when the Euros or a World Cup is coming. So, look, it's nice when there's an English team in the Champions League, but it's almost like a badge of honour when you're excited about football that's not English or Premier League football. So Real Madrid, Bayern and Dortmund, PSG, this is the real football hipster crew, isn't it? Because I'm really excited about those and the final. And then you've got the Euros, where England won't be playing in all of those games as well. So really excited. Make sure you subscribe, get involved. We've got all those games for the Euros as watch-alongs as well. And then we head into another weekend, next weekend, where there's a lot of fixtures on the Saturday, actually. Next weekend, there's 9 games. There's only one Sunday game a week on Sunday. 9 Premier League games on the Saturday. None of them are very good. Hold on. Who are Liverpool playing then? 3, 6. Oh no, 8. 8. Sorry, there's 8. Man United, Liverpool are playing Villa on the Monday. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, I desperately need a dump. I was only thinking this morning, I haven't had a dump in about 3 days, and I now would love to have one. Look, people can say that's crude. That's life. Oh, I meant to tell you this story at the start, just before the second half starts. I don't know whether anybody listens to the radio. Shout out to David Lee, says Harrison Lee. I am watching Arsenal, Richard, yes, and also keeping an eye on the Championship. I don't know whether anyone listens to the radio, but it's on in our kitchen all the time. And we've also got, when I'm in the car, right? I mean, look, I don't think radio advertisement even works. You should be advertising on things like this. But there's an advert. Some of you might, I'm not naming the energy company, right? But it might set off a light bulb with some of you. Even if it doesn't, you'll still get the gist. So I've heard this advert about 50 times, and it's never wanted me to ring that energy company up and change from my energy company to that one. So it's shit advertising, right? It's shit advertising, but they keep playing it, right? So what is this advert all about? So it's for an energy company. As I said, energy gives you gas and electric, doesn't it? Right? So this particular energy company has come up with an idea of apparently they've got really good customer service. They're one of the best in the UK for customer service. So they play recorded videos of customers phoning in saying how good they are. And the one they keep using is this guy who sounds like he's being held at gunpoint. He's like, I just want to say the service I've had has been incredible. From the people at the top to the people at the bottom, all of you are absolutely incredible. And I'm not just saying that, you're unbelievable. You are the best energy company out there. And I'm so happy with all of you. You're absolutely fantastic. And every time I listen to it, it sounds like he is being held at gunpoint. It sounds so insincere. And how the fuck does he know everybody in that company from top to bottom, that where there'll be hundreds of people working, are good? Some people in that place will be having affairs. Some of them will be thieves, fraudsters, abusers. He doesn't know them all. He doesn't know them all, does he? Why would you use that as an advertising campaign? I watch it and it makes me want to turn the radio off. Some bloody marketing guru has gone, this is going to be great. It does not make me want to use that energy company. You know what it does? It makes me think he sounds scared. He sounds like he's being forced to do it. I'm not using an energy company that uses people that sound like they're scared. Thank you for the last couple of minutes. That I really needed that to get that off my chest, by the way. It's been irritating me for weeks. It's been irritating me for weeks. The guy just doesn't sound sincere. He sounds scared. Basically, he's got his energy. He's been asked to do a survey and he's panicked. Everybody from top to bottom is absolutely incredible. You don't know them all. You don't know them. You're at home, mate. You bought it online. You don't know the CEO and you don't know the cleaner. You don't know anybody there. I just hate insincerity, bullshit, crap advertising. If that energy company wants proper promotion, though, give us a call. Do I want Ipswich to go up, Ollie? Yeah, I think Ipswich going up is... Look, anybody who's not had parachute payments, welcome to the Premier League. They're all going to go straight back down. Leicester, Ipswich, and whoever, they'll be favourites to go down. I can't see anyone else. Mark, did you hear? Paula says, did you hear that Mark Clattenburg resigned? Well, it was a weird appointment anyway. A Premier League football club having an ex-referee as an advisor. I think was always going to backfire, really, if I'm being honest. Let's keep an eye on the Championship. Southampton still beating Leeds. No goals going in, although... Oh, no, they've just kicked off. Look, Birmingham City need to score. They need to score. Ultimately, if they don't, they're going down. They're going down. Do you think Luton will come straight back up? Mate, I think that the way the parachute payments work, Luton, Burnley, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, probably 3 favourites to come back up. That's the problem with the parachute payments. It massively favours the teams that come up. It's almost beneficial to go up and then come down. Hi, Mark. Can you read my older super chat, please? Says Arcade Training. Sorry, I probably missed it when I was on a rant. I mean, I remember speaking to somebody who worked at a current Championship club about 3 years ago, and they said to me, in many ways, when you get promoted, your best bet is to spend next to nothing. If you manage to stay up, great. But if you spend next to nothing, then you take all that money back down with you, and then you just massively are ahead of everybody else in the Championship. In fact, they said to me, the best plan is go up, spend nothing, come down, spend not very much, but you'll still be good enough to get back. And then you've got a load of money when you go back up. If Chelsea win tomorrow, do they go above United, says Ali? Probably, because they've got a better goal difference, yes. Do you watch Connor Moore videos on YouTube, says Rub? Don't think so. KST says, we all know once it's made on the field, they rarely overturn. It's not a penalty, but there was no red minutes before. Nothing came out of it. It's well simulated, says KS. I want Bromley to come up as they're my local, says Nino. Well, we're head-to-head tomorrow then, because I want Solihull. They're my local. Tig says that Ipswich is such a great story, and the Aussie lads have played a big part. I couldn't be happier for Maz and Burgo. Love the show. Cheers, mate. Thanks, mate, very much for that. Favourite casino game, roulette or blackjack, says DPD. I've not been in a casino for years. I'm banned from every casino on this planet. No, I'm not really. I'll probably say blackjack, really. I've not played any card games in ages. Did you catch any of the Bolton game yesterday? No, Anson. And thank you very much for that. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to find this one that apparently I missed. Okay. Hi, Mark. Please, can you wish Paul King a happy birthday? He's an Everton fan, so he needs a positive message. Any words of wisdom, says RK Training. Happy birthday to Paul King. Well, look, Everton, you're staying up. Very likeable football club, I think, Everton, personally. I've always liked them. My first kit was an Everton kit by accident. Love Goodison Park. There's some positive words for you. I mean, Pickford this season has been... Look, I don't rate Pickford. I really don't. But this season, the fact that he's nearly in the Golden Glove contention is absolutely incredible. And certainly will be England's #1 in the Euros. So I just think for Everton, I feel sorry for them in the sense that... they're the victims again, aren't they? We've had it with the Glazers. You can have great football clubs with great fans who suffer because of twats who run your football club into the ground, and that's basically the story for a lot of people. Newcastle had it for years as well. Ipswich have scored again. They're cruising into the Premier League. Good shot from the edge of the box there for Arsenal. Keeper's made some good saves. Bournemouth have offered nothing in this game, by the way. Nothing. We have to accept that. Despite 2 controversial VAR decisions, Arsenal certainly have been the dominant force thus far. Ipswich lead 2-0 against Huddersfield. They are definitely going up. And in relation to the relegation battle, unless Birmingham City score and it starts to change. Well, Sheffield Wednesday are 2-0 up against Sunderland as well. So unless Leicester beat Blackburn or Hull get a goal back against Plymouth, it's not looking good, bruv, at the moment for Birmingham City. Everything's going not their way. Madrid are a juggernaut, and I don't hear you crying, says Lewis too. Oh, he's back again. Ignore. Ignore. B-Dog on TikTok says, what player would you like to see in the Premier League? Well, you can all answer that. It's Louis says, what do you think about Rooney becoming a pundit? I mean, to be honest with Rooney at the moment, I'm just enjoying the little clips that I keep seeing from Angry Ginger's pro clubs. I mean, the world is changing, isn't it? Who would have thought you'd just have Wayne Rooney talking for 2 minutes about, you know, giving people advice and people aren't even listening to him. They're too interested in the game of FIFA. Bournemouth are in here, though. Good save, Raya. That's what it's all about. These chances will come in the Premier League, and that was their best chance.
Not him again.
Not him again. Yeah, it is me again. Who are you? That don't impress me much. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. If you're on TikTok, give us a follow like Oscar Lewis. And if you're on YouTube, please give us a subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner like Dr. Kempo. Arsenal just need to be a bit careful. Seamus says, I can't wait to listen to your book on Audible. Yep, it will be on there. Havertz is in again here. Oh, good. What a pass. Good tackle. I suppose the big question is, Havertz has been a revelation for Arsenal over the last few weeks. But if you're an Arsenal fan, you're surely not going to turn your nose down at bringing in another striker, are you? So what happens to Havertz, and does that impact Arteta's decision-making in the summer? Because he might now not want to spend a hell of a lot of money on a striker. He might feel that Havertz is his main guy. What do I think about Rooney as a pundit? Well, he's not being a pundit, is he? He's going to be on the overlap. And that's, I mean, God, the money they pay people on that as well. I mean, you can't blame Roy Keane or Carragher or Rooney for going there. Serious money. I mean, I know a player that was offered just to go on as a guest, and what they got offered for one show. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's a serious outfit, and it's changing the game, isn't it? But they do their thing, we do our thing. That's fine. What do I think about Rooney as a pundit? Look, Wayne Rooney is one of the most naturally gifted English players I've ever seen, and I've seen the entire Premier League from an age where I was old enough to understand it. So Wayne Rooney is without doubt, for me, with Gascoigne, the most naturally talented English player I've seen. Gascoigne as a pundit would be terrible. Rooney as a pundit, look, I hope he ends up being really good, but just because you were a great player doesn't mean you're going to make a great pundit or a great manager. I really wish it had worked out for him at Birmingham City. I was really excited about it, but the only thing I'd say about that is, you know, Rooney, Neville, Keane, they could probably do with getting I don't know, just someone from another club. Just watched your 23-24 prediction video. Absolutely loved it. Never changed, says Rahul. Well, I've got to do my reaction to that. Did I get a lot right? I know I predicted Man United were going to win the Champions League, but I was pissed. I definitely predicted Man City were going to win the league. I'm watching the Arsenal game. Tin says, are you quitting Watchalong? No. Someone said they should get a Villa. The trouble is, who would you go and get? I think Lampard I think Lampard would have been the one to get, because you've got Ian Wright, Carragher, Neville, Jill Scott, and then if you got Lampard, I mean, I was trying to think. Ian Wright represents Arsenal, and they're obviously got a good Premier League history. Keane and Neville are United. You need and Carragher's Liverpool, so you need in the Premier League. You need a Chelsea player there, like, you know, a Lampard or a John Terry or a Drogba. They should have gone for a Chelsea player. Yeah. Thoughts on Sheffield Wednesday, says 10. I'm happy they're staying up. I think Sheffield Wednesday are a team I'd love to see back in the Premier League. I think they're bloody miles off, but they are a team when I was growing up that were very good. Raphael says Chelsea have got Joe Cole. Yeah, but I don't rate Joe Cole as a pundit. I think he's quite dull. We might have a Birmingham goal coming in here. We've got a goal for Birmingham. Oh my God. The cat amongst the pigeons. Birmingham City have scored against Norwich. There's still a long way to go. Fasten your seatbelts. Calm down. Calm the fuck down, Will. There's still a long way to go. But Birmingham City have scored and they're still down. They need Leicester to score against Blackburn, or they need Hull to get back against Plymouth. But they've given themselves a chance here. They have scored a goal against Norwich. And in the 56th minute. The trouble is, it's not actually enough for them at the moment. Start, bench, sell. Ronaldinho, George Best, Henry. Love the show. I didn't see George Best play, so I'm going to start George Best. Oh God, I thought Bournemouth had scored then. I'm going to start George. Bournemouth are coming into this game, aren't they? Arsenal fans, yeah. Cuzza says, yes, the book is available on. I'm reading the book. Yes, audio. Yeah. J-Dot got kicked out of the casino last night because the Champions League was for the team that won the league. The UEFA Cup was for the team that won the League Cup, and the FA Cup went into the Cup Winners' Cup. So that's sort of how it used to work. Yeah. I don't know why we're dropping frames here. I've got absolutely no issue with my internet, and I don't know what it is. See if this works. Free kick to Bournemouth. Not a bad position. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know what's causing the problem. How are you, Mark? Says Martin. I'm doing very well, mate. Jim Pig, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. I'm watching the Arsenal game and the free kick goes over the bar. We're also keeping an eye on the Championship. Birmingham City lead 1-0. This is how it sounds in relation to the promotion and relegation. Norwich, West Brom, Southampton and Leeds are the team in the playoff. Hull are losing to Plymouth, so they don't get promoted. Birmingham City, even winning, are still down because Blackburn are getting a point against Leicester. If Leicester beat Blackburn, they're going down. If Plymouth, what are Plymouth doing at the moment? Are they drawing or what? What are Plymouth doing? Plymouth are winning. If Plymouth draw, they're down. Goldio says, will Blues get relegated? Is Will at the game? Will is at the game, Goldio. They are winning, but at the moment, they're still getting relegated. If Blackburn draw at Leicester and Plymouth win, a win for Birmingham is not going to be enough. So there needs to be goals at Leicester, or there needs to be an equaliser at Plymouth. I personally think the Leicester one's more likely. But I mean, Leicester are going for 100 points, aren't they? If they win, they get 100 points. Surely that's got to be a bit of an incentive. But we'll keep an eye on it. After party at the Forest if Moors win tomorrow, Mark, says Aaron. Well, I'll definitely pop down. I'll be a bit late, though, because I'll be at Wembley. Thoughts on Sheffield Wednesday, says Ten. Yeah, I'd like to see them do well. Do you think Aston Villa are going to beat Olympiacos, says Aureus? Well, I think they bloody should do, but I was very surprised at Villa Park. I think this Arsenal game's quite interesting, you know. I mean, it's only one, and Plymouth have had Bournemouth. Getting mixed up with my muths. Bournemouth have certainly had more chances in the second half. Good cross by Declan Rice. He'd be right pissed. Right across the face of the goal there. In the 6-yard box, no one gambled. Would have been a tap-in. I do think Arsenal might need the second goal here. Oh. God, my back, my lower back. Every bloody... I don't know what it is, but... I think it's because on a Saturday morning, I tend to watch a bit of telly in bed. Every bloody Saturday, my back is knackered. I need to just get up and get going. That's what I need to do. Apparently, Blackburn have scored. They have. Oh, it's terrible for Birmingham. It's terrible for Birmingham. Blackburn are winning at Leicester. It's terrible. Terrible news. If you're a Birmingham City fan, your win may not be enough. Hey, Mr. Dabs, you're watching the stream though, mate, and it's a Saturday. So, what does that say about you, mate? Bit sad, really, isn't it? Watching a stream with somebody you don't like. I'll tell you for free, mate, I'll never understand people who come on these streams and are abusive. Because I don't like Ollie Murs. But guess what? When I've got spare time, I don't go to my CD player and put an Ollie Murs single on. You've got so much choice in life. If you don't like something, don't watch it. It amazes me the amount of people that get so angry and abusive by watching things they don't like and trying to tell people that they shouldn't watch it. Stop being a little dictator and appreciating life, that people have different thoughts to you. Some people do enjoy it, and just because you don't, you can't tell people what they can and can't like. You little dictating shit. John, the fly did die, yeah. And was flushed down the toilet. Didn't find it for a day, though. Respect. Do you think the games are a bit boring this weekend, Mark? Yeah. Yeah. I do. I think Man City are going to beat Wolves. I think Arsenal, well, I don't want to jinx it, but are expected to beat Bournemouth. I think the relegation battles become very boring as well. Can you have a Villa fan on the podcast to discuss Birmingham's relegation, says the HPN? We'll definitely be discussing it on Tuesday, won't we? Hello from Australia, says Andrew. Hope you're doing well. Arsenal looking a bit nervy. Well, that's why I say I'm not going to say anything, because Bournemouth are a good side, and I feel that Arsenal just need that second goal. It's got Villa vibes at the moment, hasn't it? Where Bournemouth, if they sense something, could get something. Oh, Villa fans will be absolutely ecstatic if Birmingham go down, yes. Panda says it's been one of the most exciting seasons we've had for a while. I think the problem is it's just so difficult to see Man City dropping points, mate. Who wins between you with a shotgun and a polar bear, says Waylo. We've done this before. Oh, you've only got 2 shots. Mate, I only need 1. I don't need 2. Then again, if you only had 1 shot, you've got 1 choice, haven't you? Do you shoot the polar bear or do you shoot yourself? Because I'd rather shoot myself than get eaten by a polar bear. But some of you probably would turn it on yourself. But sharpshooter Bridge. Goal. What a goal by Arsenal. Declan Rice again. Trossard with the finish. That'll be game over there. Absolutely lovely goal by Arsenal there. They've scored at the right time as well. Bournemouth was starting to come into the game a little bit. But good break by Arsenal. That was always going to be the opportunity, wasn't it? Bournemouth were pushing more, which meant Arsenal could break more. And they've managed to string 3 passes together really well. And it opens up with Trossard. And a lovely finish. And he's a very reliable player, Trossard, isn't he? He's got Martinelli's spot at the moment. But this is a nice goal. Look at this. Havertz into Odegaard. Finds its way to Rice. Rice passes it. Lovely finish. Bit lucky because Odegaard's pass bounces off a Bournemouth player. But Rice is there to feed it to Trossard. And that will be that. Any done any... Alistair says, ever done any topless modelling, Mark? Not for money. Are you doing 3 o'clocks, Mark? No. 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 Jamie Wilson, thanks very much. Bournemouth have been robbed, says Lewis. Oh, he's back again. Enlightenment Bridge, says Alex. Do you love Arsenal, says Trey? No, I just, out of Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal, I'd rather Arsenal won the league. Look, I don't like Man City. I think that's very obvious. But if they weren't about to win 6 out of 7, I probably wouldn't give a shit who won it. But I just don't think it's good for the league. I predicted that Man City would win the league at the start of the season, and you know what? I think my Premier League predictions are going to get earlier and earlier. I predict they're going to win it next year, and we're not even seeing what happens in the summer. What I'm hearing about Man City and some of the players they're selling and buying, it's scary. Highly likely that Grealish gets sold. If Grealish gets sold, who's replacing Grealish? Maybe they go for the Napoli guy, Kvaratskhelia. They just get stronger and stronger. Have Luton surprised you this season, says Channel? Only if they stay up, mate. I mean, going down's going down, isn't it? 20 minutes to go in the Championship, 20 minutes to go in the Premier League. As things stand, it's Ipswich will go up. They're winning 2-0, and also Leeds are losing. So second spot is sorted. Playoffs are sorted as well because Hull are losing to Plymouth. And West Brom are beating Preston, so it's all over for Hull. Plymouth just need to win to get promoted. Foul on Raya there. Bournemouth have scored, but I clearly saw a push on Raya. Well, a bit of controversy here. Bournemouth have scored. Plans for today, says Mason. I'm drinking in the garden. Enjoy it, mate. Apparently it's going to rain again soon. Yeah, there's a pull on a shirt there. There's a pull on a shirt there. I think this will be given. I think this will get given. They need to look at the pulling of the shirt by Saliba. I don't think that's a foul. I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. There's a pull on a shirt of there's a Bournemouth player gets pulled over as well. I don't know. This might be one of those. I don't know where it's VAR. Fuck knows. Fuck knows what they're going to do here. Would you swap Watkins for Rashford? Says who loves orange soda. Of course, yes. Who do you think will win the Championship playoffs? Mark, says Peter. I think Southampton actually. That would have never been given on Vicario, says Henry. I don't know whether they're going to give this or not. It's a hard one for VAR. He might have to come and look at it. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here because it's one of those where if you give the foul. Oh, he's giving the free kick. Well, I'm looking at it here. I think there is a nudge on Raya. But before that, there's a shirt pull on a Bournemouth player before that. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the only thing I would say is I think it's a foul on Raya, but for 3 months, you've been able to do that to goalkeepers. In fact, Arsenal have scored countless corners by doing that to keepers. Like Arsenal have scored loads of free kicks recently by barging into goalkeepers with Ben White. So it's, look, again, as I say, I'm not here to. It's not about Arsenal. It's about the officiating, and I just think it's just massively confusing for football fans. And the scary thing is, there's no Premier League team in the last 4 of the Champions League. There's no Premier League team in the last 4 of the Europa League. The actual visual experience is farcical and frustrating. It's almost at a point with the Premier League now where I would question if it's sabotage. Is somebody working within the Premier League to dismantle, is Florentino Perez put somebody in there? Because it's absolutely abhorrent. It's so hard to watch. And, they're not even showing the fact that Saliba's pulling somebody's shirt. They just keep showing the Raya foul, and it's just a shambles. It makes me, look, I have to stay calm about this. Mostly I talk about it on the podcast, but I have to stay calm about this because I love football. And I've never known a season like it. Like, you watch a game and you don't know what to expect. I'll tell you this. I thought Disney fucked up Star Wars. Disney fucking up Star Wars has got nothing compared to what the PGMOL have done to football. It's way worse. Way, way worse. They've absolutely destroyed it, haven't they? And people will go, I'll cry, whatever. But what I'm talking about is it's not club-centric. Can you watch a game of football now and referee it yourself? Like, I grew up going to games, watching it on the TV. I knew what a red card was. I knew what a handball was. I could watch a game and feel that I was part of the conversation because I understood football. I haven't got a bloody clue. I haven't got a clue what they're going to do anymore. I don't know. It's like sticking your hand in the lucky dip. You do not know what you get. And that, when you take away from the viewer the ability to feel part of it, you lose something. And that's what's happened this season. They've completely and utterly fucked the people that matter the most, fans. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening. And even when a goal goes in, not only that, when a goal goes in, you don't even know if you can celebrate because someone might have been picking their nose before it happened. Like, you just don't know anything anymore. Like, we're watching this game at the moment with Arsenal. At any second, he might blow his whistle for something that happened half an hour ago. Like, they've completely destroyed it. The concept of football was free-flowing. It's a low-scoring game, football, compared to things like rugby and cricket and NFL, etc. It is a low-scoring game. But it works because it's free-flowing. And they've took that away. They've took it away. But these prats on the mainstream, these pundits, don't want to do this. They're not interested. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm earning hundreds of thousands of pounds a year from, whatever brand I've got working for me. They're not bothered. Is this what it feels like to be a City fan, says Blake? It's a disgrace, Mark, says Jake. Should have been a red for the push on Raya, says KJ. Tig says, you're trapped in a room with a rattlesnake, a cobra and an Arsenal supporter and you only have 2 bullets. What do you do? I've got nothing against Arsenal, so I don't really care. I'd leave... The cobra is probably going to kill the rattlesnake anyway, so I've still got 2 bullets left. Sadly, Rooney has destroyed Birmingham's season, says Mario. That would have been given on Vicario, says Henry. Thank you very much. Yeah, in relation to the Championship, yeah, nothing's helping Birmingham at the moment. They're winning with 10 minutes to go, but they basically need Leicester to score 2 or Plymouth or Hull to score. Is there a twist in the tail? Ipswich are promoted. CR7, yes. Well, they're not officially promoted till full-time, but they're in a good position. Martinelli, that's never a penalty, is it? Let's be honest. Dom says, Coots done this to Bournemouth numerous times this season. He's unfit to referee. And 58 Go says, getting rid of VAR is like security turning off all CCTV cameras and blaming the cameras for increased robbery. Maybe start with the people, not the tech. Yeah, you're right, 58 Go. You're absolutely correct. But we turned VAR on too soon. VAR should have been trialled for 2 years in the Championship. We turned it on too soon. We didn't even have the tech for it. Like, we haven't even got the right offside. Like, we should not be trialling VAR in the Premier League. Who cares what they're doing in the Champions League or anything like that? Marcel says, after the penalty, I shut down the game. Mate, you know what? There's a lot of football fans out there. There's a hell of a lot of football fans out there. But I know for a fact people are turning off. They're unsubscribing to Sky and TNT. They're turning it off. I know the figures. They're finding other ways to watch it if they want to watch it, but they don't want to pay for it because they don't want to put money into the Premier League anymore. It's crazy. Crazy what's actually going on but behind brand Premier League. Ben White does worse than that every corner. Are the EPL that desperate to keep the title race alive? Horrendous decisions for Woolwich today, says DTMK. Camel says, how in the world would you know the figures? How wouldn't I know the figures, mate? I know all the figures for like radio and everything like that. They're not hard to get hold of. Like, there are actual platforms and people that work at those platforms that will give you that information. You know, I speak to journalists, speak to players. They don't give me that information. But unfortunately, I'm not just a guy who's doing this in his mum's bedroom. I've been doing it for 10 years. It's a very, very big platform with a very big community that opens up a lot of doors to a lot of things. And I'm telling you now, the Premier League it's not dying. It can still be rescued. But if they carry on down this path, they're going to fuck us up. We're going to go back to other leagues being far better than us. You can't serve up shit and expect people to keep eating it, basically. And the Premier League are serving up a shit show at the moment. And beyond VAR, we've also got one team that's way better than everybody else. We've also got teams that get promoted who go straight back down. You know, when you deep it, the Premier League brand is actually really boring. The same team wins the league, the same teams get relegated, and fans don't feel a connection with the game anymore because it's being absolutely destroyed. So, are you doing another watch along today, Sebastian? No, I'm not interested in Man City. I wish Wolves all the best, but they're going to get tonked. Yeah. 58 Go says VAR works in Europe, though. Does it? Do you watch a lot of European football? Does it always work? I think there's been bad decisions in the Champions League as well. I personally think football was too quick to turn VAR on. What's the best league in the world, says Ollie? Well, I still think it is the Premier League, but only on reputation. I think when you deep for me, the Premier League, I want the Premier League to be the best league in the world. And I've always believed it's the best league in the world. But this season, I'm not so sure. The officiating is scandalous. We've not done well in Europe across all competitions. So some people can say, what a goal! What a goal by Gabriel. Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe. He's offside. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I mean, officials taking the glamour again. It's offside. And it's such a shame because it's such a good goal. I mean, if it's offside, isn't it? I mean, he's miles on. He's miles on. He's absolutely miles on. So now we've got an incompetent linesman giving a fucking offside and ruining a goal. A celebration. What? What? He's not in into... It has been given offside. I've got to see this again. I was only looking at Gabriel. Oh, Havertz was offside and went to try and win the header. Yeah, that's why. I thought it went straight through to Gabriel. Fucking hell. Yeah, Havertz was off. He's very unlucky that, because he's not going to score many goals like that in his career, is he? Who's going to win the Euros, Mark? Says ZC. England. I don't need to change my glasses, mate. I need to watch it again. I watched it again and I came to the right conclusion. That was a prime example of how VAR should work. Saka's a limp merchant, says Ben. Man United, we need you more than ever, says Manchester City. Well, Man United, Arsenal's next game is Man United. It'd be absolutely typical if United stop Arsenal winning the league to help City. That would just be typical. But we need the points. Look, Arsenal should beat Man United anyway. If I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be worried about United. Like, any United fan will tell you that Arsenal are miles better than us, so they should still win. It's not looking good for Birmingham. They are 1-0 up with 5 minutes to go, but there's no result that's helping them out at the moment. Blackburn are beating Leicester and Plymouth are beating Hull. So unless there's a late equaliser from Hull, which doesn't look likely, or 2 late goals from Leicester, which doesn't look likely, even winning for Birmingham is going to send them down. Some crazy results though. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday winning at Sunderland, you wouldn't have expected that. Blackburn winning at Leicester, you wouldn't have expected that. But this is the thing. Fixtures don't necessarily play the way they should be on the last game. 89 Ben says, I'm getting bored of football. VAR has ruined the game. Floppy Shit says, as a Sunderland fan, Mark, it is expected. We've had a terrible season. Sagnick says, you're getting cooked the last few days. Thoughts? Mate, you can't get cooked if you're not in the oven. I don't know. Maybe you're watching stuff and reading stuff that you think I'm getting cooked. I mean, I'd love to know what I'm getting cooked about. I haven't got a bloody clue. Absolutely not. I mean, for the last day and a half, I've been recording my audio for my book, so I've not even been on social media. So it's funny what people think is being cooked. Please, pray tell. I've got no idea what you're talking about. Will Raya be able to play the rest of the match? Says Nini. A bit of sarcasm there. 8 minutes added on. Sanyik probably watches and analyses small little content creators who slag me off for views and clicks, but people have been doing that for years. If I don't see it, I don't hear it, and it's irrelevant. Football is not consistent and we are not the refs, Mark. VAR brings jeopardy, drama, and if VAR was consistent, the Prem would be boring. VAR brings conversation and debate. Oh, fuck off, mate. Aaron, I'm sorry. I think you're going to get absolute pelters for that. So what you're saying is that VAR makes football better. Mate, I'm sorry. It really doesn't. It's not giving us anything that enhances the game. It's delaying goals. It's getting decisions wrong. It creates injustice, frustration, and dilutes the quality of the game. That's what VAR does. I'm all for things that make games exciting, better, and enjoyable, but it frustrates, elongates, and gets things wrong. It's not a positive, Aaron. It could be a positive. I agree with 58 Go. It could work, but it doesn't. Manchester City says United have the quality, just need players to play well. No, I'm not violating Aaron. Some people will be quite happy with VAR and some people will find it quite entertaining. But I think, obviously, I only ever speak for myself. But having done the podcast all season on Spotify and read the comments and done the polls, it's very, very clear that the majority of fans hate it and don't find it enjoyable. I mean, look, I can speak, when I speak about VAR, I don't speak as a Manchester United fan because we've had things go our way and we've had things go against us, and that's what will happen. Some teams have it more than others, let's be fair, but it will fuck everybody up at some point. The biggest thing I've seen this season that was an injustice was obviously the onside goal that Liverpool scored. I thought the Doku penalty on McAllister was a disgrace and probably changed the course of the title, if we're being honest. I think if Liverpool had got that penalty and scored, we'd have an Arsenal-Liverpool title race and not an Arsenal-Man City title race. But the saddest thing I've seen, and some people would say it was funny, but I saw nobody mock it, was when it was 3-3 in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley and Coventry thought they'd scored for 2 minutes. And they spent 2 minutes figuring out an offside which was a pube length. And I'm looking at the clips that got recorded from all those Coventry fans, and people are screaming with once in a lifetime sheer delight. And you can hear people on the videos going, "It's the best moment of my life." You are breaking hearts and depriving people of some of the best moments of their life. And when you're doing that, it's wrong. Whether it's football, governments, dictators, if you are fundamentally ruining people's lives, then you're fundamentally doing something wrong, aren't you? And that's the sad thing about VAR. It's multi-stranded. It's handballs, it's red cards, it's offsides. It's just broken. And it's sad what it's done. I hate it. But I hate not being able to celebrate a goal properly anymore. It's horrible. Ipswich have been promoted. Well done to Ipswich. I think we're about to see Birmingham City get relegated. The only hope is a late goal for Hull. Blackburn are beating Leicester 2-0. You never would have seen that coming. It's relegation for Birmingham City. It's not been confirmed yet. But Pieface is going to be singing and dancing tonight because Plymouth are going to beat Hull and they're going to stay up. All 4 relegation teams won. Birmingham won. Plymouth are winning. Blackburn won. And Sheffield Wednesday won. It's amazing what can happen when you're facing relegation. You suddenly can play like Prime Brazil. Sebastian says, it's favouritism, not fault of VAR. The McAllister penalty was not given because of fault of the referee. Yes, it was. Have you heard the audio? Mate, that was a penalty for Liverpool against Man City. Everybody knows it was a penalty. It was a failing on the part of the referee on the pitch and VAR. It was a fundamental failing of 5 or 6 people. It was a penalty. It's not an objective truth. It's a fact. We have evidence across a whole Premier League season of what a penalty is and what a penalty isn't. We've just seen Havertz get a penalty. If that's a penalty for Arsenal and Havertz, there was a stone wall penalty for McAllister. Big up Ipswich. We're just waiting for the final whistles in other games. I'll tell you what, I think Jesus is an interesting thing for Arsenal as well. They're going to have to figure out a solution with him, aren't they? Good play by Rice. Cut it back. Oh. Surely player of the year, Rice. Surely. He's got... I don't know who comes close. I really don't know who comes close. He's got a goal and an assist today. Has to be. Has to be player of the year. Plymouth have beaten Hull. Blackburn have beaten Leicester. And Sheffield Wednesday have beaten Sunderland. Which means Birmingham City are relegated. Oh. I feel sorry for Will. I really do. Live scenes at St Andrews. They'll be in League One. Yeah, I would give Rice Player of the Year. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. I think a couple of weeks ago I would have said it was McAllister, Rice. I think now it has to be. It's going to be a very good podcast on Tuesday, isn't it? Oh, I've just realised I've not got the Premier League game on. I went to watch the Ipswich party. Final whistle, 3-0 to Arsenal. Very good win. I mean, look, I don't think goal difference is going to come into this at all, is it? So it doesn't really matter. I mean, it might do, but Arsenal's goal difference is 10 superior to Manchester City anyway. But I don't think we're going to see a situation where it's resolved by goal difference anyway. But good win for Arsenal. Few controversial decisions in there, of course. But look, massive win for Arsenal. They totally deserved it. They were the better team today. They've had 24 shots to 7, 9 on target. Yes, VAR is absolute shite. We know that. But Arsenal deserved the win today. Aaron says, people make mistakes, back the referees. Aaron, are you actually Howard Webb? I tell you what, Aaron, if you think you're going to turn the tide with a few super chats on That's Football, you're like that bloody power energy advert on the radio. It's crap advertising. There's a better way to do it. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm on the United Stand at 8 o'clock tonight. I don't normally do an 8 o'clock show on the United Stand, but I am on there tonight. Take care, everyone. And I will speak to you all a little bit later. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Absolute legends. I'll speak to you all in a bit.